All right, everybody. We are live. It's very exciting. So what I'm doing, I'm just going to change up my camera a little bit. I was trying to add a second camera, but it's not working well. I got to figure out my setup because I wanted to use my phone and just did it. Anyway, so I'm just going to adjust my camera a little bit quick. I'm going to put my phone to charge. But we are doing Lego. We're doing Lego. So I have these right here is this one and this one. So I'm just gonna spend my afternoon doing that because I have that luxury. So I am just putting this away. Here's my cell phone. That's gonna go. Ugh. How are you guys doing? That's my question. All right. So let's do this. Da, 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 da. No. There. Ha. All right. Let's start with this one. So, all right, and it says you have to destroy the entire box because, yeah, that makes sense. I'm just going to take my time and just weasel everything out because I don't want to have to bother everything. Here we have a book. Here we have bags. Do we have any? I hope we don't have any stickers. I hate stickers, that's for sure. Doesn't look like it. Mostly just instructions. So let me just pull those bad boys up and we will get things going here. So let's go with Lego set 75317. There. 75317. There, and ta-da! Building instructions. I love it. And we're going to open up that. And they come in two separate ones. So let's do one at a time. Because we have this, and then we have my face and the instructions. So I can actually, maybe I'll share that. That there, and then no, I want this to be small. Nope. Yeah, it doesn't work. All right, well then I'm just going to do it on my own. So if you want to look in, that's where you're going to be looking. Is 75317. We are starting with Mr. Grogu. It's very exciting. Very exciting, everybody. So let's he's over there. Okay. We have number 1, number 2. We have a bunch of 2s. That doesn't make any sense. Beautiful. I wish this was simpler, but it is not. So I believe this is number 1. And I don't know why we have 3 bag number 2s, but let's put this one over there. And I'm just scrolling through. I want to see what other bags it uses, what I can identify, kind of thing. It might be that just that one bag. I'm not sure. Scrolling. Yeah. Okay. So, and yeah. So essentially, I'm not sure if this is all 1 and this is all number 2, but it looks like that it might be how they're doing it. So let's party. Bag number the first. I don't even know if you guys can see that. So okay. Like I said, I'm not really sure which one is which, but and this is a weird time for me to go live. I'm aware, but I'm doing something at nighttime, so this is what we're doing. So it may just so all the 1s and then all the 2s. It's a thing. Who knew? So we have this bad boy, and we are adding. Yeah, I think that's how it's going to work. So all the 1s, all the 2s. Let's see here. Interesting enough, so if you were on my live yesterday, I was also I finished up the Havoc staff, which I'm still trying to figure out what I'm going to do with. But the Havoc staff, which was Mega Blocks or Mega Constructs, which is not Mega Blocks. Mega Blocks for kids. But so I was doing that, and that was really fun. But interesting enough, the bags that you get in Lego are actually like just the perfect dimension. It's weird. It's because the bags on Mega Constructs are like super heavy duty and they're a pain in the butt to get open, but you know, it's still good. I don't know. Okay, it's there. And we have one side with this and one side with this. So let's do that. And that is how we're going to decide things. There. Oh, really? Okay. This is going to be a little more. Can't actually see. Do that. And then I can do that. Perfect. Okay. There. Next, we have a long one, and I need two. So the hard part, or one of the things that you have to figure out with Lego 2 is that it's very specific, and you have to put the right pieces in the right place. So for me, I am very adamant about doing that because I don't like messing things up. So when they're the wrong color, it's very aggravating to me. I got the wrong color in the other one, but just found it. Okay. So we have here and we have there. It might be a little too much light here, but that's okay. We'll try and arrange it. But in the meantime, feel free to hit me up in the comments, guys, if you have any questions. I am just doing my thing here. So by all means, if you have any questions, feel free to throw it in the comments and I will check things out. But right now we are making what's his face? The Mandalorian and the Child, which turned out to be what's his face? Grogu, but that's definitely a made up name, but whatever. I mean, Star Wars is made up, right? So it's just how that happens sometimes. That's one. So we have there and that one and this one. Okay. So these are the pieces that are going to be the next step. So we have this and this. Attaching them is this. There. I gotta come closer, I think. There we go. Okay, now you can see exactly what I'm doing. And that goes here. And this goes here. And okay, so far we have this bad boy. All right. Oh, interesting. Goes like that. Thing. And we're going. Oh, where's that go? Oh, this goes up here. All right. So now we built kind of a quasi shelf. And it goes right there. Interesting. So now we have, I guess this is a seat. This is the seat for the child. The child goes in the seat, people. Be very careful. Don't be alarmed. All right. Now we have two of those. Perfect. Two of these. Two of those. And one of the blank ones there. All right. So we're going to go like that. You know, the one interesting thing is how they layer things in Lego. It is very specific, but also a little bit peculiar. So it's one of those things that is very enjoyable. At the same time, like they click better and stuff. Like there's a definite tolerance issue when it comes to Fego or fake Lego. But at the same time, like I still enjoy all of it. It's not a bad thing. Like it's so much fun. All right. So we have these ones. So you can tell the difference. So like these only have on the front, on the side. This one is all four sides. So that's how you can differentiate, because it has like those nice little pictures and stuff. So it's very useful in that fashion. Let's see here, and we have four of these. Amazing. And they are attached right there. Okay, perfect. I like it. Yeah, that's definitely the chair portion. Hey, you know, I just find it Lego relaxing. Like yesterday, I plowed through, I think it was about 1,200 pieces. That one for the Havoc staff. The Havoc staff was very cool. Even now, I'm trying to figure out what I want to do with the idea of like, am I going to lacquer it or something and then keep it forever, which I might do. I'm not like I'm not planning on destroying it in any way, shape, or form. So why wouldn't I make it permanent? But I don't know if I'm going to sell it or what. Because I have too much Lego as it is, right? So I know that there are some people that actually will buy Lego and sell it. Like they'll put it together and sell it as a piece. And so I might start doing that. I have no idea. But okay. So we have this and this go here, because that's also what I did. Because I've done that for other people too, where I did it for the DeLorean for a friend. He wanted a DeLorean, and I was like, I actually have one on the way, so I'll build it and you can have it. And I just did it as like a birthday thing, but still. All right. All right. We have a throne. I like it. Oh God. Okay, there. Like at the same time, like who doesn't want one of these carriages that can just carry them around? They can take a nap and be protected when it's all sealed up. I mean, that's a good deal, in my opinion, at least. Also, I'm an idiot. What do I know? So it goes both ways. And actually, so today is Family Day for us in Ontario, Canada. We're just in Toronto, which I know is hated by so many people, which that's reasonable. It's but realistically, it's so far it's a pretty nice day. It's a little bit cold out, but you know, we live in Canada. It gets cold. Don't be ridiculous. All right. I like the little brickhead ones because it's kind of like a mini project that you could just kind of bang out in a couple hours. But at the same time, I have some big stuff that's going to be coming. So once I figure out the camera situation, then I'm going to start doing that as well. And when did that happen? Oh, that was it. I did not realize I missed the part, which is just the front bumper, I guess, which goes here. There we go. We have an official throne. Delicious. You're welcome. I haven't eaten in a couple days, just so everyone knows. It's not just me being obnoxious. I am obnoxious. That's a fair thing, but I'm just saying that's not the reason why I'm burping. It's more so I haven't eaten. So I'm just on water, lemon water, and thing, because I'm trying to see, like, I usually feel really good after a fast. So I right now I feel really good, but I'm just trying to ease back into things because I'm just like a couple days. It's not even a huge fast. I got to get back into it. I did a 7-day one a while ago, and now I'm kind of that one. I quit smoking as well, which it's a horrible habit. I just enjoy it. I don't know why. What am I supposed to do, right? I'm trying to be healthier, so that's what I need to do. Okay. One of the other problems that I have with some of these designs is that, like, you kind of have to make it make sense. So like when you see these up close, let me try that there. So when you try and make them equal so they look proper, right? You just gotta kind of fidget with them a lot, which I find aggravating, but what do I know? Because I just like things to be perfect, right? But then I'm not going to take the time to take out a ruler and straighten everything out. I'm just like, yeah, no, I just want it to click properly. But hey, that's just me, and I'm a weirdo. So right now we have a seat fit for a king, maybe two kings. Who knows? Okay, we have two clears, two flats, a big one, and a small one for the next steps. So it goes right in the middle, there, right there. Ah, this is the stand. And you know what? I like that they have little clear pieces, so when it stands, you're like, ooh, it's like it's floating. Mm. Definitely not attached, it is. Ha, 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 ha. That's a horrible Yoda. All right. On to the child. Start here. Start here, and we continue until dawn. No, we're not going till dawn. We could. I would do it, but I'm also nuts. So, welcome everyone. We are making a bunch of brick heads. Right now, we are doing the Mandalorian and the child, also known as Grogu. However, they sent out the merch before they had given him a name. So, I think they should have collaborated for that, though, right? Like, that's only fair. If you don't, then like that would have been cool if Lego came as like Lego had the name all along. Ha 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 ha. Like that would be a cool thing. I think so, at least. But, you know, nobody asked me. So there's that. All right. We are up and running. This is a weird little guy. But hey, he's fun. I just like that he actually has embraced his powers and stuff and also is like walking off the beaten path because a Mandalorian, like there were Jedi Mandalorians in the lore of Star Wars, right? And then when the Mandalorians fought the Jedi, it kind of is like a very religious thing. It's a lot. It's a lot. It's a very cool read, I find, but a lot of people just get frustrated. I've read a few of the Mandalorian books, or the which one is it? Rogue something. It's about four stormtroopers that kind of get together and they're like brothers, but they're like it's a weird thing. I've got to find it. They are also in Order 66, the novel, which is kind of the last one for them, where they kind of like abandon everything. It's a really cool story. I enjoyed it, but I would highly recommend. I'm trying to get back into reading as well, and it's like I like reading fun stuff, but also, you know, you should try and grow with your reading because that's also advisable. It's like 10 minutes a day or 30 pages a day. It's something it's highly recommended by people, whoever they are. Probably not nice to tell you that, but it seems like a good thing. Because I know for myself, my ability, or not ability, but my attention span is just under constant attack, and the new way of doing things. But what do I know? Oh no, I did this wrong. I even cut my nails yesterday too. Jesus. All right. So what am I doing here? That goes there. That's fine. And then 1 and 1. So 1 and then cover. Okay. That's fine. And this one's a little bit different. Okay, so it says to do this and this and then this. Interesting. I'm not sure why we're doing everything different, but hey. Oh, okay. So we have. Okay. So this has a section that comes out. If you can see, it is a little bit different. Sorry, guys. I'm doing it here, and I should be doing it here. So I apologize. I'm going to try and adjust things. I'm going to try and get a camera right off my mic. We'll see how that goes. All right. Here, here, and a pink one right in the middle. Just message me. And see these ones. I like it when they're really nice and straight, because then everything. If it's a little bit awkward or a little bit off center or not parallel perfectly, it just reverberates throughout the entire build, and it's really aggravating. But in the end, like Lego is good with regards to its colorization, because then it still looks okay, but when you get up and close, like if you do build Lego, then you start to see the imperfections, and you're like, it's bothersome. But then again, hey, there's more important things in life than just Lego. I'm looking for them. No, there's lots of things like love and happiness. But I think Lego is a key component to both of those things. So what do I know? Okay, that goes on this side, and this one goes over here, it looks like. Okay, we have some sort of thingamabob. I don't know. Let's see. All right, so we have one there. Oh, this is his face. There. Now we have tiny eyeballs. Okay, and so the eyeball piece you can buy separately. So if you want to give eyes to stuff, but basically now you have an eyeballs. You have a top of a head. And it goes a little something like this. All right, we have a face of some sort. All right, so we need a flat one. So eyes are that way. That means this is going here, and these are going there. All right. There, should be a little better, guys. In the meantime, we will proceed. All right. We have tiny little hands. Love it. Jesus. How do you burp with just water? Doesn't make any sense. And we have his tiny miniaturistic arms and sleeves. I think I think this is the coolest part. It's like, he's got little, here's my arms. It's very cute. Okay. These are off center. So we have one is front and the other one is back. See, I like how they do like a design where you're like, okay, now you have an idea of how everything pieces together, which is important. Okay. You have a zombie. It looks like a very small zombie with a throne, which is useful. Let's be honest. That's fair. Okay, so we go here. We're creating the back of the head, it looks like. Oh, I missed the part. All right, so we have one there. See, when I was making the mega constructs, I found that it was very like hard to clip in to stuff, and that's a little bit aggravating. But like, it still does it. You just got to push a little harder and think. Whereas I find Lego has a little more give, I guess, and it doesn't. Like, it's still hard and will fucking destroy your feet if you fall on it. But all right, so here we go. There is the child. And okay, so we have these extra pieces, which that's fine. Go here and just put them in there. They're always extras. That's fine. They're not a bad, like I keep the bags for everything, so they're kind of in the background, just doing that. So that, and now on to bag number 2. So let's go here. There, let me just make sure that's gone. Okay, so we're going this one. Sorry, I'm just organizing my desktop so I can see all the instructions. Yay, me. All right, so we have bags number 222. So onto the Mandalorian. Let's start with the larger bag and we'll proceed to the smaller bags because that makes the most sense. Now, one of the things I learned early on when I was building Lego was always keep them in separate piles. It's not necessarily a perfect system that they have, but it is like, it's kind of like everything else. Like, this is still a good way of doing things, but if you separate the bags, because you will need some bags throughout, like at the same time. So these are all 2s. So always put like the 2s all at the same time. That's fine. It's reasonable. But then, of course, you want to keep them a little bit separate just because it gets a little overwhelming as well. So you want to kind of focus a little bit with that. But ultimately, it definitely there helps to kind of keep it a little more organized because, like, at any point in time, it could just all right. I've opened like multiple bags before, and that was a disaster. Like immediately, because you just spend time looking for stuff. So it's definitely a benefit to take your time and just kind of ease into everything. So what I try and do is just spread everything out a little bit, so I get an idea of what it is that I'm looking at, and that way, when I look for stuff, it kind of pops out. Right? You familiarize yourself with your tools, and then you have life's a little bit easier, I guess, in my opinion. But then again, what do I know? Let's see here. See, already I need 2 pieces from another bag. So they're all like they are in the same. I think it's the idea is they want to clump things together that are the same portions or structural integrity type thing. But I basically have no idea what I'm doing. So it's fine. It works out great. Okay, we need a white one there. And these, see, that happens too. You're like, sneaky, sneaky. There's one in there. Comes out. Ta-da. So I need one of these, 2, and 1. Okay. So we're going easy. That goes there on the middle. We're going to put these outwards. He also has like a stand plate, so that's going to be exciting. And then that, I need 2 of those. There and there. And then, so also different type of brown. So Grogu is so cute. He really is. Like, in all honesty, I really am enjoying that show as well. So it's one of those things that, it's definitely a fun time. If you don't like it, like, what? That's a you problem. Like, you definitely have an issue. You should talk to somebody. There and there. Okay. is we're building, but hey, well, I'm sure we'll figure it out eventually. 2 little dots. At the same time, like if you go, I've done a few busts. Hey, what's happening, Serge? How you doing, buddy? I'm just building Lego, so I have these that I'm building, and then I'm also doing these, which is going to be Darth Vader and Obi-Wan. I wanted Darth Vader and Obi-Wan for the longest time, and then I also wanted Grogu. I also have a few others that I bought that are very enjoyable because I like them. I like them. I enjoy what Lego does to my mind. I feel like it streamlines my brain, if that makes any sense. Like obviously it doesn't, but in my mind, it's like, Lego, the great source. It's, the building blocks of everything. It kind of also, I definitely find it de-stresses me a little bit just because I can just talk and talk and talk and talk and build Lego, which is enjoyable. So, okay, so we have, see, also you're still using from different bags and stuff like that. There. Okay, that is relatively flat. Then we need. No. Maybe here. Yes, 1 and 2. There we go. Found them. And those are going on the edges. Nice. Maybe it's a face. I don't know. We're going to find out together. It's very exciting. Okay. So here we have a little doohickey. So we have this kind of auburn with the red. Then a gray one. No, brown. Brown goes on there. And then we have 2 little half circles. I think this is his chest. His chesticle area. Maybe. Who knows? What's new with you, Serge? How are you doing? There and ta-da. I think this is his belt. That's my get best. This is his belt and this is his thing. Maybe it's yeah. I am correct. Aha! Look at me. I know things and stuff. I don't know things and stuff. Basically, I'm just walking around like a traumatic situation. But hey, sometimes that's what you have to be too. I am considering. So I was talking with a friend, and she was asking me to help, kind of. What would I say to help people publicly speak? So I'm also debating that of doing a little course of just explaining how to, like, what are the keys to speaking and being able to ramble on and on and on endlessly and not say anything at all. It is a skill. I'll tell you guys that much. It's definitely one of those things where you kind of, once you figure it out, you're like, I can do it. Yeah. I'm doing good. So is today family day? So it's family day here, which they wanted a holiday for February, I guess, because let's be honest, life is the worst right now. But the whole idea was that we got Family Day, and now we have a statutory holiday in February, which is nice. I like it. And it always kind of surprises everyone because it's a statutory holiday, so things are closed. Like that's it. That's how it works. And I think a lot of times people forget about it, and then like, oh man, we got a day off, and we can just go do stuff, which is like people don't do enough stuff in general. I think like in life. So I was definitely like, oh, fantastic. So we're going to the movies tonight. We're gonna go see Lord of the Rings Fellowship of the Ring, but it's the extended version. So we saw Return of the King a little while ago, which was so enjoyable because it's full recliner where we're going. We're going outside of the city. Really great. And then in turn, we can just hang out and chill. It's very enjoyable. I find it enjoyable at least. And then also like it's not the nicest of theater, but it's an enjoyable theater. Like they have better seating and stuff. Like, and it's also pretty new, I believe. So we've been going, and it's just having a splendid time. Just a splendid, enjoyable experience. So, nope, this one. I'm glad you're doing good, buddy. That's important, I think. I think a lot of us don't realize how important it is. Number one, ask your friends if they're okay. Number two, try and be okay. I think those are very important things. Okay. Mhm, mhm, mhm. What the hell? Okay. I don't know how this works. So it's kind of just there. Huh. Yeah, I didn't miss any parts. Just kind of wild. Okay. So I just got to do the other side now. There. That song is definitely in my head. That's annoying. Hmm. Da, 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 da. Oh, I know you're here, but where? Ah, found it. Beautiful. There. Is it baby? It is. It's Grogu. It's Grogu and the Mandalorian. So this is the Mandalorian so far, as you can see. This is his belt and half of his face. But it doesn't clip on. Like it snugly fits into this area, but it doesn't actually clip. So I'm trying to figure out what they're doing with that. But we will find out, sir. We will find out. It should be very interesting. And by interesting, I mean, yeah, why not? Why not? It's just that way, and that, and that. Yeah, so I have the Mandalorian right now, Baby Yoda, and then I also have Darth Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi. So I'm gonna try and get through those today because why not? Mm, okay. Okay. Wow. All right. Well, that's the face, and it kind of just slides out of there. I'm not sure how they're doing that or why, but it is the face so far. Also, we actually went and saw what did we see? Lisa Frankenstein the other day. That was weird, but enjoyable nonetheless. So it's very like a glamorized version of the 80s, which I always find weird. So that was the top, and it essentially holds these in place, but they do still jiggle, which I'm like, that's a very specific type thing, right? Because the idea is that his mask would technically move with him moving, but he doesn't move because it's a brickhead. It doesn't function that way. But still, it is very peculiar. And now onto the face. That's what she said. Here, here, and a pink square. Which I'm so it's interesting that they will always put like a pink square somewhere in it. I believe it's intended to be the brain. That's the because even in Grogu had a little tiny one and it was all the way in the center. So now this is you have his mask and then yeah, brain. Which I'm like, you don't have to do all that, but they do take the time to kind of build the layers outwards and stuff. It's very cool. That's one of the things I really enjoy about Lego. Even some people have gone on to make it so that when you look at that stuff, it definitely looks like you're disassembling like the actual thing to a degree with a little imagination, of course. Can't have no imagination. That would be horrible. Um, so the idea behind that, you're like, it's a novel type thing, but Where the hell? I'm looking for a black angular piece. There it is. Aha. Beautiful. All right. So I have two there. And they're going to go right on the side. There you go. Very interesting. So now doesn't really jiggle at all. Well, it's still a little bit, but interesting. Very interesting. All right, so let's keep it going. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 is what I need for these. So we are creating the rest of his face, which is surrounding his brain. That's where faces go. They surround your brain. Let's see here. Yeah, I've had a lot of people comment that they're like, "Oh, I could never do Lego like that," and I'm like, "Why not? Just do it. It's just like, oh, you have to follow the instructions." I'm like, "Yeah, that's kind of how you become good at stuff. Is just follow the instructions. It's a good thing. It's a decent way of proceeding." But apparently, a lot of people have a hard time with it. Yeah. All right, so we have that. Then we have a little more Mandalorian, don't you think? Thanks everybody for watching. Really appreciate you. Just keep on going here and get this bad boy done. Times 2. So I need there. Like, yeah, this is giving out proper Mandalorian vibes, right? Yeah, I like it. Okay, so sides. We're doing there and here. And then we're doing some weird shit. I like it. Okay, so let's go there. Let's go here. And also, too, a lot of times they'll try and throw a fast one at you. So it'll be like, it's this way on this side, but on the other side, it's different. Ha! And you're like, oh, why is it different, you pricks? And then it's just how it is. So you kind of have to just take your time with the process. And, here we go. So we need that gray. Then we need that is arm. And we're going here. And then a slant. It is his arm. So you have a face and we have an arm because that's how things go. Now, interesting. We have one. How's the Lego dragon coming on? Oh, I finished it. It's up on display. I gotta do a little short with it. It actually turned out really good. It was quite large. It was 1,200 pieces. And so for a while, I was just having the camera on me and I would just build it and then hold it up every once in a while. So I'm trying to figure out to have like this as my main screen or something else, and then have another camera facing me. But I'm trying to finagle the situation. It's not being kind to my wants. So I have to figure it out, I guess. There. What I only assume is his ear hole of some sort. Also, too, I like the Mandalorian show. I find it very enjoyable. So if you'd like that too, you're probably enjoying this part. So you have the face, and you have his little tiny arm and ear holes. Very important. Yeah, the dragon was it was a really cool build. I did another dragon for Shang-Chi, which I don't know where I put that. I think I might have broken it apart because I was trying to combine it with something else and it didn't. I'm not good at it, But all right, and now the back is going to have. All right, let's see here. We have 1, 2. Nope, that's not what I want. That's what I want. Okay, so have there. You slept all day Saturday. I mean, there's nothing wrong with that, bro. That's one of the things that I encourage people. Like, I did a reel today where I was like, you know what? If the government tells you you need a day off, you need a day off, and that's what statutory holidays. I had gotten into an argument with Victoria multiple times about this. I'm like, listen, this is a government mandated day off, and if all of us are well aware that the government is the worst at stuff. Like they're not professional in that like and doing things for people. So like if they say you need a day off, you need a day off. Just take the day off. Like it's a hands down, you definitely need it because let's be honest, they're the worst. So if they think you need time off, you definitely need time off. Like if anything, take extra. That's So we have the back of the head with venting because back of the head apparently gets too warm, excessively warm. Let's call it excessively warm top of head placement. There. All right, so we're going there, and then here. I wonder how they're doing the top. I think there's got to be stuff up there. All right. There, here, here. I need one more flat. Perfect. Very exciting. It's working out quite well. Ah, he has a different type of arm on the other side. Shenanigans. I like it. Okay, gray. And we need a. Oh, I see. The other one, his hand, if you can see, right there, is downwards. But this one is pointing forward. Shenanigans. I love it. Oh, wait, I think I put it on. Yeah, no, I'm right. Everything's fine. Don't be alarmed, everyone. Everything is A-okay. And oh yeah. Yeah, one hand down, one hand forward. Bam! Ready for action. Because let's be honest, he's the Mandalorian. If he's not ready, kind of a bigger problem, right? Like let's just. Okay, now we're doing 2 of these. Actually, it's funny. When I'm building Lego, Victoria is very kind to go over to our library and she sits there and enjoys her shows. Sometimes she watches and supports, which is very appreciated. But then as well is now I saw her sneaky upstairs. I'm like, haha, sneaky. Ugh. I gotta be breaking my fast probably sometime today, but that's on the bottom. Not sure why that's the bottom. It's just one. And right now we're just gonna keep him on his upside down because that's how we're rolling today. Here, okay. So we have that. We have one of these, and then that. There are these little pieces that are a little angrier, but I'm like, it also looks kind of like a dragon scale. So it's like, it would be very cool to have like a ton of those. And then there's some guys I follow on, whatchamacallit, on Instagram that also do that kind of stuff. And they will build like all sorts of wild things, which I find interesting, super interesting. He actually built it's the head of Smaug. Really cool. And I asked him, like, does it articulate? He's like, not yet, but that is the intended thing. All right. So we have a foot of some sort. Now he's hobbled, but we'll keep on going because that is what we do. All right. Yeah, I like that they're a little bit different. You know, having different stuff for different sides makes it a little cooler, right? At least in my opinion. Not that I deserve an opinion, but you know what I mean. That's the way I see it. I think it's President's Day in the States now. Is that accurate, Serge? You might know. All right. And then we have another leg. Man, two legs. Two legs, and then like stuff to hold things in. Very exciting. There. All right. Now I've seen this one around, and now I'm gonna use it because shenanigans. All right. Okay. Nope. That's not how that goes. Huh? Okay. So here. Okay. Sorry. It's not two of these. Where the hell does the other one go? Okay. So this goes here. And then where does this go? Oh, that's why. There's a lot more to it. That's why. Ta-da! We learned it all together. And that is the rest of it. Flip them over. Oh, yeah. His arms, pockets, all sorts of cool stuff. All right. Now let's get into more stuff. There. Here. Mm-mm-mm. I wonder how they pick colors for Lego. Because you can easily mess it up, right? Like, just if you don't have the right colors, it's just ugh, it becomes god awful. Like I saw somebody do a Millennium Falcon with spare parts, which I'm like, I applaud your resourcefulness, but at the same time, that looks like shit. So, ugh, I don't know. It's one of those things where you're always like, I mean, you can do that. I don't know why. It's just, I guess if you can't afford the Millennium Falcon, that's what you should do. So, all right. So this is on his back. It's like a cape of some sort. Let's call it a cape. Nope. It is a jetpack. 1, 2, 3. Yeah, it's definitely a cape. It's not his jetpack. There, there, and we have here. Yeah. Apparently, Herkel Dirkling is staying in bed all day, which I did post about that, which most of the day we did stay in bed. So there's his cape. And it's got a little for his gun, I believe, which I do have a gun here. Interesting, don't you think? Don't you think? Hmm. Mm, 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 mm. And I believe that one. Nope, this one. So we go down and that. Ah, okay. Herkel Durkel is the best. It's a good thing. Is he doing it right now? Because then I'll pull it up one thing on YouTube just so I can have it in the background. There. Nice. Well, that is happening. All right. Well, I'm going to try. Just popped up on alerts. All right. So I have that going in the background as well to support Joey because Joey's good people. Not like morally or anything, just in general. Yeah, it looks like a pretty badass cape, right? So if you check it out, it's got like, ooh. I'm going to build the other side, I think. Yep. All right. So we have that. We have this. There. Yeah. So now you have like a whole badass cape. This is a cool cape, right? Ah. And then we have shenanigans. It says to put it on diagonally. Okay. So put it on a diagonal. It's a little clip, but it says to do it diagonally this way. So is it that way? No, it's this way. There. Let me see here. There we go. All right. Okay. Now we have a gun. Then this thing, which I'm pretty sure is also a lightsaber, but that's fine. And we have some sort of go-go gadget. And it goes a little something like that. Bam! All right, let's keep going. Keep the fun happening. Believe it or not, George isn't at home. Where could he be? Nope. Oops. Hey. Am I missing a piece for that? Hold on. I may have just messed something up, guys, but let me go back to his leg. I may have missed a piece. Ah, I did. The gray one on top. There we go. Now it will be a little more structurally sound. So, guys, and yep, that works. All right. Yeah, so if you guys are a fan of who's this? Mel Gaynor, go check out Joey's stream. But if you're a fan of Lego, be here. That makes the most sense. Okay, let's move on. So we just did. He's got two thingy-mabobs, which I'm assuming would be like technically those are lightsaber handles, but I think they're supposed to be something else. Yeah. So let's keep going here. Oh, that goes up front. Hmm. Where is that? How does that go there? Hmm. I may have messed up the other leg too. Wow. All right, let's see what happens. Yeah. Two of those. Okay. So how does this? Maybe that goes down here. Sorry, guys. I'm trying to find out where this goes because on the picture it shows where it goes, and I'm like, I don't see that part, but I don't know where this goes. Hmm. Let's see here. I need to see it from the front. When the hell did that happen? Hold on. I believe I forgot to put this on a long time ago. So let me just go back to the top when I built the front. Yeah, there it is. All right, so now that's how it looks. Much better. Much better. Even with that little snafu, we're still in good shape. All right, so now he has another gun that he's going to shoot people with. Ha! It goes like that. And then we have there. He's armed and he's dangerous to protect Grogu. That seems reasonable. That seems like a good course of action. Mando is great. He is like, it's just a great character, and it's really worked out. I'm very happy that it didn't get all insane, but at the same time, keyword is yet, I think. But I think they're coming out with another season. I watched The Mandalorian, a few other ones. I enjoy these tangent shows that they're building because, in general, they're just so much more fan based. I guess, at least that's my opinion. They seem to be more fan centric in their thing. So we have Mandalorian and Grogu. So let me put these bad boys away, and I'm gonna keep on making stuff. These are all also good pieces to have around. So I try and keep stuff together, but at the same time, I think I have to go through a bunch of boxes and find out what's what, because that's also a thing. So let's go here, here, and there. So that goes just slide back in there. And we are on to the piece de resistance. There, Pedro Pascal is a fantastic actor. He's the perfect Mando. I mean, yeah, that's the way I see it. Like, he does a great job. I enjoyed the fact that he didn't actually show his face. That was until much later. So that's also a beneficial thing, I think. All right, that's done. Let me do here. This one is number 40547. There. All right. So, Darth Vader is first. But now, hilariously, I'm not sure why they did this. So, some of the boxes, you actually have to break the box, and then it goes from there. Alternatively, like, so in this situation, it actually has tape, which I'm like, yeah, I prefer that significantly. Then you just have to cut it. There. Try and be a little delicate. Somebody left. They're not watching anymore. But that's probably because they thought I was done. Haha! Little did they know. I'm never finished. Yes. Okay. So let's take these little instruction books. We're going to throw them back in because they suck. There. There and there. Oh, I missed one. Fine. Okay, so we have bag number one, bag number one, bag number two, bag number two. So as we learned with the last one, is bag number two is bag number two. Bag number one is bag number one. because that's how numbers work, people. That's just simple stuff. Okay, let's calm down. Calm down. Okay, so we have here and here. We have our Grogu and Mandalorian there. Let's place them like that because that makes the most sense. All right, so let's go on with Darth Vader first because he's awesome. And if you don't like him, that's a you problem. There and perfect. All right. We have bags are opening. Let's try and make this reasonable. All right. Once again, little pink brain. I feel like this will be less intricate, but than the Mandalorian. But I don't know. I could be wrong. It's happened once or twice. It's happened a lot more than once or twice. I'll tell you that much. Even still. I think I need to start doing these at nighttime because that's when people like to watch, right? But the weird thing is now is because it's Darth Vader, right? He's going to be mostly darker pieces, but at the same time, let's try and do something cool. Okay. So first things first, we have that and that. And that, we have that. Then we have this, which is going to go back here. So now we're looking for another piece that is so. There you go. Found it. Perfect. Okay. Now we have two of these. Perfect. That is definitely the front of his lightsaber. So let's put that up here so it can't roll off. There. There. We're going to go here. We're building some sort of unit. So I suspect this will be the top, like his brain area. I'm assuming the pink one's going to come into play very soon. 1, 2, 3. Let's go with 2. I think I need a more direct light or something. I'm going to set up some stuff and try and get this going again because I like it. All right, so we have that, and then this goes right on top. All right, so we have the start. Gray goes here. Nope, there. Yes, perfect. Then we need 2 Black piece like that. That works. You're building the Vader. Yeah. So it's next one is I'm just doing a bunch of them. So I did Grogu and the Mandalorian, and now I'm doing Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi, which I've had for a while, and I've just been looking for an opportunity. They're just sitting in the box, so I just pulled them out, and I was like, all right, let's get to step in. So, yeah, I feel like I haven't been doing enough. So this is me being productive because I want to get monetized on my channel. I want to be doing that stuff. So it's important that I do that as well. Right. So we were talking about it, and it was kind of like, if you want to do this stuff, you got to treat it like a job. The more you put in, the more you'll earn. And right now, I'm in a situation where I need to get to a point where people are watching and enjoying on a regular basis, and then I'm good to go. So that way I can keep on producing. And then I can actually start doing more shows and stuff like that. And, as well, there's also the humor base of stuff, which I'm like, I'm planning on going around and doing stuff. So, oh, yeah, that's good stuff. It looks like a fancy t-shirt, kind of, a little bit. Let's be honest. There. I know you're here somewhere. It's just a matter of finding you. There it is. All right. Here, and all right. Definitely a t-shirt. This is Vader's underwear. He's a fancy guy, people. He's a fancy guy with fancy friends. I don't know. I'm just joking. I have no idea I don't know what he would be like. I've never met the guy. Okay, where are you? Oh, maybe I do have stickers. Dang. No, it looks like I'm supposed to. Oh, I think I found it. Found it. It's his belt. All right. So now he's definitely a robot. Let's just start there, right? Come on, I know you're here. Why aren't you sharing? Oh boy, where are you? I'm looking for another. It's a flat piece, but and it's got design on it. So I'm just looking through everything. Why can't I find you? No. No. What the heck is going on? Why can't I see you? I feel like you guys are screaming at your screens right now, going, "It's right there, you idiot!" But there. Sorry, I'm just turning all these over so I can try and see it. It was sideways, that's why. There you go. All right, we're back in action, everybody. So, definitely a Vader torso. All right. Everybody calm down. Calm down. There's nothing to be alarmed about. We have all the pieces we need, and everything is going to be fine. Which I think is important. I think it's important to start from that position. And he's got a robot arm. And then a robot arm on the other side, because that's how robot arm works, people. There. All right, so we have the gray in the front to match his whole outfit, and then it goes to the back, and there he has two hands. Very enjoyable. All right. So I have on one side of my screen, I have the instructions. On the other side of the screen, I have this screen, which gives me all the comments and all that kind of stuff. And then right in the middle, I have Joey's face doing his interview silently in the background. It's quite entertaining. But at the same time, I'm just trying to be supportive and make sure he gets those recognition. Because I think we all deserve recognition to some degree. I feel like if we're being productive, you should be recognized, right? Like that's a reasonable. Yes, I don't know. I know you're here. Just which because it's a square piece. Got it. Found it. All right. The weirdest torso in the world, but hey, it is a start. One and a two and a there. All right. All right. So far, no pink. Interesting. I suspect it's going to go right on over that, but what the hell do I know? You know? I don't know anything. Nothing. Zero. Bupkis. Here. Here. One and two. Go right up front. All right. We are in good shape, everyone. Where are you? So we have it looked like from the box that they were transparent, but turns out it is not. Yeah, maybe that's on me. Here, let's go. Okay, it's going to take a little more finagling. Then we're going to do that. It's not that one. It's this small one, but it has a closed front. Where are you? It's not this one. Unless, no, that's not it. Yeah, there it is. I accidentally used the wrong one. See, that happens too. So you can see the difference is this has like a small hook, which you can see like that, whereas this one is circular. So it's a joint. That's what I mistakenly did. But I caught it, and that is what matters. So we have Grogu, or the child. We have the Mandalorian right here with all sorts of fangle dangle little things. And now we're building Vader and Obi-Wan Kenobi because I wanted it and I knew. I also have a Balrog and Gandalf I got to build. I have a few cool ones. I have the DuckTales. That's Scrooge McDuck and the kids and stuff. So I definitely want to do those, but no rush. We have time. There's always time. There is always time. Here goes in the back. Who knew Vader liked to party from the back? That's just the thing. All right. So here, that is going to go like that. And this that is super duper cool. It looks super wild. At least it's getting there. All right. Now we have, I believe we're going into the brain stage, whatever that means. There. And now we have 2 angled pieces and a flat white. Here. Okay. Yep, as I suspected. The brain. Nope. There's something else. This goes here, and then this goes on top. Now he has a brain, people. Now he has a brain. More. Right. Okay. We are getting there. That goes here. All right. All right. Joey is. Oh. I think Joey just finished. Oh. Well. I don't know what that was, but. Oh, well. All right. So. That goes like that. Then we have. How the hell? There's a. Oh, no, it's that piece. There we go. That's the piece that I wanted. I'll show you guys in a second. It's his eyebrows. Dun, 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 dun. Because, you need eyebrows. That's fair. Okay, so we're doing that. Just going to give him some. There. We have a. Let's go on the other side. That's fine. Go here. We're doing that flat. We have the back of his head. That works. And we're doing. Oh, it's different. Oh, that's just the back. That's fine. Then it's going to be another one of these. It's weird. They kind of went up and all the way down. I don't understand why they would do that, but hey, I'm not the one in charge. I am just the guy around. That looks pretty wicked. Looks pretty cool, right? Yeah, I like it. Oh, hold on. Oh, I think I messed something up. Yep, I did. Poop. Oh, I see how they did it. So, one of these things was meant to be smaller instead of longer. Now, hilariously, that happens a lot with Lego, is you think something should be one way, and it turns out, nope, it's got to be the other way. And then you're like, oh, okay. So I'm just going to figure that out. Actually, that goes like that. And this goes, because it has a little gap on the side of the face, which I think they're trying to maintain. Yeah. To make it more hood-like, I guess. Like a cowl. Yeah. So now you can see there's a little more gap there by pulling the piece back. No, that's cool. I like it. Very interesting. All right. Now we're going to flip it upside down and give him a wiener. That's what that is. Oh, weird piece with the front that's round. Definitely a wiener. All right. Now we have weird legs. Look like they're just something simple. Just one piece, one piece, one piece, one piece. And then they just stack up there and here. There. Oh, there's a first. Just kind of popped out. And we add his legs. I feel like he should be taller, but okay. He is a mini block. Okay, so we are covering his brain with a nice red thingy. Then we have that. We have this, creating some semblance of his mask or hood, whatever you'd like to call it. Is it a mask or is it a hood? I think that's a reasonable question. All right. Because it's definitely hood-like, but also covers his face. So which one is it? Tell me. I need to know. I require information. Ever seen a female Vader? I mean, interestingly enough, so recently, sir, you might have seen this. I did used to do comedy with a group that worked out of Las Vegas, and I met a whole bunch of people. It was very enjoyable. And hey, what's up, Joey? I saw you just finished your interview, buddy. Thanks for showing up. Really appreciate you. Serge is here. All sorts of things are happening. It's very exciting. So yeah, so I met this guy, Eric Newton. Eric Newton, me and him became friends. We have a common history. He was raised as Jehovah's Witness as well. So he and I got talking. He has a really good joke about that. It's very enjoyable. But he actually became the host of something called The Empire Strips Back. And so it's a burlesque show based on Star Wars. They have all sorts of cool stuff. So in that, there was a female Vader. And I'm telling you, there was also a female C3PO, Vader, Mando, or Boba Fett, actually, all sorts of others. And I'll tell you, the most really cool experience, but also you're kind of going, I don't know why I'm so attracted to C3PO now. It's very and Vader. It's very weird in that fashion, but at the same time you're going, shenanigans, you know? One of those things. So it was a very enjoyable experience, that's for sure. But yeah. So hold on. Here and here. Oh, it's gotta be a small one. What's up, Joey? How you doing, buddy? How did your interview go? Seemed like you were having a great old time. There. And then I have a bunch of these. Yeah, Joey, tell us who your guest was, please. Bro, that's how you do a cape, right? Like, went good. He was a drummer, so only so many questions, stretched it to half an hour, which is my goal. Hey, man, you know what? That's a good show. That's a solid interview, and you should be proud of yourself. I had it going on in between the instructions and my StreamYard, so it was happening right in the middle. So I did my best, bro. Did my best. Even still. So we have his lightsaber. Hmm. He looks dangerous, people. Definitely looks dangerous. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. And we have Darth Vader. I'm just gonna go with Mandalorian and Grogu. So last one is Obi-Wan Kenobi. General Kenobi. Why, hello there. Simple Minds. What song do they? It sounds familiar, but Joe, you know me. I'm an old person like you. So, who's Simple Minds is a band um, that does things. Yes, they used to be popular, right? That's a thing. There. All right. Okay. On to. Oh, don't you forget about me. Is that the song? A horrible rendition of it. It's a great song. It's a okay. So Joey, your daughter might like this. We went and saw Lisa Frankenstein. Very much a romanticized version of the '80s as a story. Like everything was in pastel. It was horrible. People were assholes too, but at the same time, like it was an interesting take. Interesting take on the whole idea of the '80s. So, yeah, that is a great song though. You say I was in the other room right before the interview, literally 5 minutes before, and Nikki and Kim were watching a commercial for Wavy Lays, and the song was playing. I mean, that's a song that's got to be playing royalties like forever. Like, I don't know. I wonder how that works when it comes to music like that, right? Because like classical music you can play and nobody can say shit about, but then at the same time, like that song is also 30 years old. So what happens? I wonder. Definitely something I question. All right, so that looks like dark brown there. It was a great song. Yeah, it was a great song. Do they have anything else, or was that their only song? I know it's not their only song, but like that was like wow, people were great. 40 years old. Oh God. You know what? Like I don't feel like I'm super old, but at the same time, I'm like, bro, it's been a long time that I've been here. It's weird, right? Like I don't know. Definitely one of those things where you're kind of going like, oof, time is passing. That is for sure. I don't feel bad about it. Like I'm having a great time and everything, but at the same time, you're kind of like, woo, man, not young anymore. That's for damn sure. Yeah. Bro, 9/11 was 23 years. Why? Why do you have to bring up? Oh, Joey. Yeah, that's true too. It's time waits for no man, right? It's one of those things. It's just like time passes. 23 years prior to 9/11 was 1978. I don't know what you're trying to do, Joey. You're just trying to ruin me or make me feel old, you prick. That's man. How dare you, sir? At the same time, Joey, if you want to come on, let me know and I'll you can always talk shit with me. I'm happy to do it. Let me see here. there, and let me just try and there. You're welcome to come on, Joey, if you want. Let's keep on going. I'm gonna keep on building, sir. I feel like that goes there. Here, let me do this, Joey. What's up, bro?
I'm right by your dick. It's okay though.
If anything, that's a accurate rendition. That's your placement. You just, I open my pants and it's Joey going, "Hey, what's up, motherfucker?"
Well, to be fair, I'm right by your dick and you're right by my dick. The bottom of you is right by my dick. So
I mean, that's yeah.
It's a fucking sandwich. But yeah, that song's been stuck in my head for fucking, a couple hours. I mean, every time you just say the band's name, if fucking you just start singing the song, I mean,
it was a good song though, right? Like that was a good time in history. Like
it's a transcendent. I mean, he actually, I was just talking to him about it. They wrote the song for the movie. Like it wasn't a song they got for the movie.
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Funny how that is, right?
It was funny because I was telling about this is like the most awesome timing ever. But like my daughter Nikki, she pulled out her phone at school and she's getting Saturday school for it, and it's literally coming up this weekend. So I told her, she's got to cosplay some of the costume. Just come out like Ellie McCready or
100%. Like that's like realistically, that's like you never really like. I don't know. Did you guys have detention in school, Joey? Because we didn't where I was. It was more like. I want to see you after class, but it wasn't like detention, like, hey, you have to stay here and you can't.
Oh yeah, we had formal detention. I had to do. I cut school once. I had to do like 7 hours, hour a day after until it got remedied.
Really? So it was like just a punishment of you waste my time, I'll waste yours, which is also from Fast Times at Richmond High.
Mm-hmm. Well, we used to get there was a point system. Like you get so many points for being tardy, so many points for a detention, so many points for this, so many points for that. After a while, you get it. So many points you get a suspension, so many points you get a expulsion kind of thing. And back then it was the middle of the crack era. So like they thought everybody that had a pager was selling drugs. And of course, what do teenagers want? Everybody wants a fucking pager. So like everybody had a secret pager we didn't show to the teachers and shit. It was funny.
Of course not. Why would you do? Yeah, why would you share? That's absolutely. Like I remember my brother had there was a deal that you could get where it was $100 you got, or it was like $120. Where a pager was normally like 80, but you got $120 and then you got lifelong pager service. And like a lot of people immediately did that. And you're like, oh, that was a horrible idea as a sales or business maneuver. And so a lot of people had them, but then you're like, quickly it became a whole thing because that was like the last ditch effort to increase pager sales. And then people got cell phones and you're like, well. So, yeah.
Good old pagers. I remember the early days of cell phones. Don't call me until after 9. I get nights and weekends.
Hey, the fact that people are like, that never happened. You're like, what are you talking about? Like that was a huge deal. Like I remember when they first started, you could get like after 6, and like sometimes they'd have a deal and you get like after 5 p.m., which you're like, bro, that's literally just after business hours. It was insane.
Oh, see, we didn't have that. We had like the standard one, like Verizon used to be AirTouch, and before that was like cellular one or whatever. But back in the AirTouch days, it would be like you get like 60 anytime minutes. Yeah. And then weekends would be free, but it was nights after 9. Yeah. But Sprint was nights after 7, I think.
Nights after 7. So there was like 6, 7, 9, and like if you were only after 9 till 6 a.m., like it was a lot cheaper. But you could get like 5 or 6 o'clock, which like it's after business hours, no big deal. But then you had the anytime minutes. But it was such a bullshit thing where you're going like, you're not paying for anything extra. Like it's just them being assholes and trying to manipulate, right? Like it's
right.
It's not like, oh yeah, that's how business is. You're like, no, it's not. What are you talking about? Bullshit.
It's funny back then. We would want to call and 50 cents a minute. Now I don't give a fuck. I'm not even answering my phone. I don't know.
Oh yeah.
I think it's just the whole era. I mean, I'm a multitasker, bro. I'm constantly doing 2-3 things at the same time. Maybe not actively, but I'm passively doing something. Like right now, I'm fucking streaming with you. I still got my eye on my phone. I got my ear out if Jimmy wants something. It's a couple things. If I'm talking to somebody, I got to physically hold the phone up or concentrate in the call. I can't, oh, what are you doing? You got to explain what you're doing in the thing. It's just not worth it, It's a
horrible process. Yeah, no, I agree. Absolutely.
And don't get me wrong, I'm a talker. I love talking. I mean, look, we're a talk show hosts, You know, I mean, I could talk for hours on the phone, but like,
100%.
I just when you're not maybe it's just that when I quit drinking, I just because there's no reflection when you're stoner. You just do things, you know, whatever. I don't give a fuck. You know, shit I can't change. I just don't worry about it, you know. But when you're drinking, you start worrying about things, and you call people like, "Hey, man, am I worth it?" And shit like that, you know.
Yeah, which is not healthy at all. Like that's that's the thing. Is like it's hilarious that alcohol destroys your entire life. There's no question about that. And like you can't function on alcohol. Like that's a long term. Like it's very very detrimental. But weed, you're like, yeah, you just hang out and chill. Like people beat people when they get drunk. People don't get into violent things when they smoke weed. Like that's just statistics. It's not on me. And I'm like, listen, I love having a good drink. Don't get me wrong. It's more so that it's like, yeah, but people can't control their liquor.
Oh yeah.
Right? Like a lot. Like it's I've seen people do like messed up stuff when they were drunk, and you're like, are you nuts? Like, because you're not going to be okay tomorrow after that. But
no shit, I've been there fuck several hundred times, my friend. I mean, if these walls could talk, well, maybe not these walls can never really break out in the garage, but the house walls could talk, and some of these bar walls could talk. Hell, there's probably shit I did. I don't even remember.
And that's not like a jab. It's just like that happens. Like that happens to a lot of people, bro. I've seen people who just said the wrong thing at the wrong time, and you're like, oh, you just lost half your friend group, bro. And you're like, just like, oh, like I remember one guy said something, and everyone kind of just stopped and was like, the fuck did you just say? And he was like, oh, it's just a joke. And you're like, I don't think that was a joke there, bro. That's not okay. And he was just like, well, no, I didn't mean anything. And you're like, because everyone knows if you actively are drinking, like you're going to, you know, spill the beans on something. Not like every time, but like your truth comes out.
You're gonna tell where I think people go wrong with the drinking. People will, or what people thinking about the thought process on drinking. Like people won't say things. They'll say whatever to get what they want when they're drinking. They're not necessarily speaking truth, but they will, like you said, admit something that they wouldn't normally want to tell people. They've been sitting on it. They're like, I'm drunk. You know, whatever. I wouldn't say this, but you know, me and so and so, but you know, shit like that. So because you get very
loose lips, right?
Well, yeah, you get very egotistical when you drink too. You get that fucking balls of steel thing going on. You know, think you're Billy Badass and shit. In reality, it's like shut the fuck up. You know. No, nobody knows who we are. Nobody usually will know us unless we tell people, "Hey, be here to see me at a certain time." Nobody's gonna know who the fuck we are.
No. Which I do kind of enjoy the anonymity of that, where it's just like, yeah, I'm just showing up to do stuff, so whatever, you know.
Mm-hmm. Right? But, imagine being like Shaq going to the fucking Forever 21. Everybody and their grandmother's gonna come up to the guy.
Yeah, which that's a nightmare, bro. Like you don't like. I want to be famous in that. Hey, I produce content and people enjoy my stuff. That's not like the fame. Like I'm not looking for like people fawning over. I don't need any of that. No, thank you. That sounds horrible, right?
80 million people tell you, "Oh my god, you're so great."
No, you don't know shit.
That's the beauty of us, though, is that we have our, you know, I got my posse. It's followed me from the day one. You know, what I mean, guys that come through with on YouTube, and they'll be there when I get big. If I don't get big, whatever, I don't give a fuck. You know, we know we know our place in the world. But if you know something does pop. You know, I get a talk show or something, whatever, nationally. You know, those guys will be right in the inner circle, bro. And I'll know who was there. Of course. And people who were like, oh, blah, blah, blah. Well, you were doubting me this whole time, you know. At the end of the day, I mean, you hate to use the H word because it's fucking played out because you can't have haters if nobody knows who you are. But, you know, when people do say random things or make comments, it does kind of backhand motivate you, you know, to keep grinding, to keep fucking going out there doing shows. I've been doing shows for 5 years almost. We get the 5-year anniversary coming up. That's kind of insane when you think about it, keeping a schedule like that. I missed a couple here or there, but like every Friday at 9:30, now it's 5:30, you're going to see me talking to somebody or having a panel or doing something. Yeah.
Which is like, bro, that's what I was saying with regards to Lego earlier was like, it's still a job. You got to invest time in it, right? Like you can't just, I showed up on YouTube and I'm here. No, you got to stream for hours on end. And you got to do stuff and you just keep on working and hoping that it picks up. Like you look at what people are interested in and how to make it better. And Like those are all legitimate things, but it takes time. It takes effort. You can't just wing it.
You got to get it. You got to get a good reputation. And I always tell people, show prep. You do a show, plan about it. You know, don't just any dumbass. I mean, if you just want to go live and turn on the microphone, fine. I got no problem with that.
Yeah.
But you have to realize you're never going to make, you know, you're never going to grow beyond the people you talk to regionally, your friends. I mean, that's it. You know, you might have your dumping ground for people who don't want to stream that day, but want the interaction of a live panel, you know, something like that. Whatever, that's fine. But if you want to really explode, you want really new people to watch you, new people to be entertained, to join your circle, join your group, you gotta do show prep. You gotta have something that people want to watch.
100%.
You know, that's rule number, I don't know, 14, whatever the fucking rules I made. Don't watch content you wouldn't make yourself, or don't make content you wouldn't watch yourself. You know, bottom line.
Which is like that is some of the best advice. If you don't want to see that shit, don't bother. That's the Why would you? Who are you catering to? Because it's the same thing we were talking about, like people who don't swear on their streams, and I'm like, oh yeah, if you don't swear, like that is eventually just gonna pass and be like, yeah, you just swear. Who cares? Nobody cares about that shit. But if you don't swear, you get locked into that box, and as soon as you do, all hell breaks loose on your channel. It's not a good thing. It's a very stressful, and it causes a lot of anxiety I've seen. So yeah, just be who you are. If you can't maintain it on a daily basis, don't do that. Like that is just a bad idea.
100%. I gotta get some water, dude. I'm thirsty as fuck. All I got is coffee, and I'm dying here. I'll be back in like 2 minutes.
I'm just gonna talk shit the whole time. Don't worry about it. It's fine. I'm just sitting here drinking my water. I'm lucky I have water because my wife loves me. And because she loves me, she brings me water. It's very, very, very helpful. Very nice and kind of her. She also stabs me every once in a while, but hey, that's love. We're just making his hair, which is basically some sort of coif. It's not even that. But they're actually, it's interesting how they'll use the angles differently to create a certain amount of texture. Hey. I wonder what they're going to say about my youth. Always something I ponder, right? Because ultimately, we all get old. That's just how life works. So, okay, we have one there. Oh, no, that's not that. Oh, and then we're going on to that side. Yeah, that's all done. Perfect. Hey, let me on. Oh, absolutely, Kyle. Sorry. Give me 1 second. Let me. I'm just gonna message you right now, buddy. That should be that. By all means, come on. No. There we go. All right. We have Obi-Wan-ish. That looks very cool. He really does. Like, he really pops. Mandalorian it's a little busy. Obviously, Grogu, super cool. But, and now Obi-Wan is, it's really interesting. I'm enjoying it. I'm enjoying it a lot. Kyle's coming on too.
Cool. I like Kyle. Kyle's a good guy.
Kyle's a good guy. Yeah, I enjoy Kyle's company a lot. There we go.
Most bigger guys.
Hey, Kyle.
How you doing, bud? Most bigger dudes, like if you're just considered a big guy by society, we're all just pretty nice guys. By and large.
Bro, we can't. We've learned to not use our size the way God intended, so people don't lose their shit. Because, like, I even said this to Kyle earlier today. Was how this woman was like, I never really realized how much bigger my husband is, because like he'll like we're lying down and I'm little spoon, he's big spoon, and he puts his arm around me and then like just encompasses my entire hand, and you're like, yeah, that's just life, because I'm twice your size, and it's just, and people are like, wow. You're like, it's not a wow thing, but sure. I don't know. That's like, and even like that was the crazy part of when I first met Kyle, was like we shook hands and both looked down and we're like, huh, that's a weird experience. was very funny.
Yeah, I've had a couple of those lately, actually.
Well, yeah.
No, I'm working with a guy who is 6'10" and a half.
Jesus.
And I'm just like, why do you need the half?
Yeah, well, that's also a fair question.
After a certain point, you stop counting half birthdays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, well, right. Like, hey, how much are his hands bigger than yours?
Yes.
By a lot.
It's a slight. It's but mine are like meatier. But
yeah.
Yeah, they are bigger. And his foot's like 18.
Oh, that sucks, bro.
Yeah, I don't envy that. I already have trouble finding shoes.
I'm a 13, and 13 is about the biggest size they make without getting into custom shit. From like,
I get 14s and like limited selection, but there are stores that stop at 13. So I'll walk into the store. I'll be like, "Do you have anything in 14?" They're like, "No, it's 13." So I just leave. Like,
yeah, I've done that a few times where I just walk up to a place and I'm like, "Hey, do you guys have anything in 14?" They're like, "No." They're like, "Oh, okay, cool. I'll see you guys later." And they're like, "Oh, there's other." I'm like, "No. I'm here for shoes. Thank you."
He was telling me him and a buddy, like they have the same size foot. Like, he played ball overseas, right?
Yeah.
But he went into like a Nike outlet or something, and And then they rolled out a cart of like 18s.
A cart?
Yeah, and I'm just like, they were like waiting because him and his buddy is just like, it's like, it has been foretold that one day an 18 will come and he will buy all the shoes. Like,
I mean, kind of, right?
They probably just had them sitting there for like every stock all the time.
There's a store called Burlington here, and it's like a discount outlet. Basically, all stuff that gets rejected by the mainstream stores comes there. Not a bad store sometimes, but like there's always one big ass pair of shoes. It's always a random size too, like a 21 or a 19, and just sitting there. It's always a bright ass color too. It's like, who the fuck is coming here to buy this? Like, why would they even stock this? You know what I mean?
Well, 100%. Like it's funny because like there was where was I?
Hello,
so it's back in the day. So there's a place called Super Play around here where they just have like it's more like it's discounted stuff, but it's also obscure stuff. So like when it first started, which is when I was in high school, Kyle was in high school, it would have been a little after. You were probably been after high school for you, Joey. But they would have like normal shoes, and then all of a sudden you see like a size 26, and you're like, what kind of freak wears that shit? And then sure enough, you'd see them and you're like, oh Jesus, you're a monster. It was very, very fun to do.
I want to take a picture with him. Like, I want to get that, like, you know, that Arnold picture where it's him and like Andre the Giant and some other dude, and Arnie's the smallest one.
Definitely. Yeah. It's him. It's Andre and who the hell is the other person from Conan the Barbarian?
I honestly wouldn't be able to tell you.
Not Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
No.
Kareem Abdul-Jabbar was in Game of Death.
Yeah, he's like he's not Arnie. He's Bruce Lee. Bruce Lee.
Yeah. Damn.
But no, they did. It's funny. They did. Well, you're talking about like being so much bigger than like the women and like.
Oh yeah.
No, but like the last. Well, like the last two girls I've dated. Like I could, like I hugged them, but like my arms, if they like were pliable enough, would like go around a second time almost. Like
yeah.
Like, and if it wasn't for the fact that like my chest was big, like it would just wrap around. Like some of it's just me. Like, so
right?
Like it's
one of those things where you're kind of going like, yeah. But it's I wonder. Like that's also a testament to the idea of like, yeah, we're not all built the same. We're not all like, guy, like that's you are like, it's funny when you see somebody who's like, I'm 130 pounds. I'm like, bro, you're in danger. Like you should do something about that.
Dude,
like,
there was this guy who played, I told you about him in the group chat. This dude played for Youngstown State. He's 7'3" and he was a $195. I was like, geez,
what is that?
Christ. Right. I didn't even walk.
Oh, was he that dude that was like, he looked weird?
No, his proportion wasn't too bad. I mean, he kind of looked like Wembanyama from the Spurs, type build.
No, but some of them look like they were literally stretched. Like
yeah.
Like they don't look right.
Why do you think that is? Do you think it's just like
I don't know.
their pituitary gland just wasn't working properly?
Maybe, I don't know.
Some guys are just naturally skinny. I mean, it is, there's that
like the tall version of Down syndrome. I don't know. But,
damn, Kyle.
But yeah, I don't know. I'm glad I'm not one of them.
Well, yeah, that's fair. I can
But
understand that.
no, it was. But it's crazy because where I was working, they had like a call for tall women. And,
yeah.
There are multiple women that are like 6 foot. One of them's 6'1", and I was walking beside her, and she has like I don't know, like her shoes are like 6 inches or more, or about, but she's 6'1". So I'm walking beside her, and she is like the same size as me or slightly taller, and it's just like
cool.
really like it really throws me off.
Did she go
100%.
Did she go down to South America after this and hunt forests, being the Amazonian type she is?
Yeah, no, she's cool. They're all.
Well, how was the because if you get a nice tall chick with some freaking double D's, that's what we're talking about. But a lot of some of these tall chicks are just tall and just like it's kind of nothing to work with because they're tall and everything gets stretched out. But like,
hey, that's got to be frustrating for them too, right? Because like when you're taller, you're more athletic. You're more like it's a different kind of demand situation too, right? Just in general, I think.
No, but they're like whatever. They all look. They're they're 6 foot. They're all like the industry I'm in. They're all like model-esque. So like they're proportional and whatnot. Mm-hmm. But like
nothing wrong with that.
Beautiful women. Right.
Kyle, your life is so hard. He's like, I'm surrounded by all these beautiful tall women. It's very difficult.
It is a very difficult life, my friend.
Do you think I like blowing off my wife and kids to hang out with 19-year-old girls all day?
I know.
I don't have the wife and kids, dude. So
Jesus. It's fucking Dragon Slayer out here with this guy. You know how much fucking dude, there's a roster. The older you get, and if you're accomplished, when I say accomplished, the basic shit, you own a house, own a car, got a job, dude, it's fucking pussy soup. Like they'd be throwing themselves at you and shit.
That's like American accomplished. Toronto accomplished is you can afford to live on your own.
No roommates. No roommates.
No roommates. If you have a pet, you're like rich.
Oh, definitely, yeah.
But you're poor because you have a pet.
So that's pretty accurate there, Kyle.
As a pet owner, it's like I don't eat all the time. They do though, but and then when I die, they'll eat more.
Yeah, that seems reasonable. That's
but no, it's but it was funny. I was looking at these shoes, and I'm like, I want to buy shoes with lifts.
Oh, absolutely, Serge. Send me a message. Let me know who they are. I'll definitely have them on. Or send it to Cole, because Cole is searching for people too. Sorry, go ahead. You were looking at these shoes.
Oh, it's like you get 2.5 inches, and I'm like, I want to buy those and just fuck with people.
I have Victoria bought me a pair of Scorpions. So Scorpions are like super high heel on it, but it's all like cushy, so it's like walking on a cloud, but you don't really realize. So I'm like, I get like an extra 3 inches on these things, which I was like, all right, and Boo's like, oh, it's a lot taller, and I'm like,
but so you're not allowed to wear those near me.
But I'm not allowed. Yeah, that's fair. That's a reason.
You can wear them. I think I'm still just above.
You'd still be taller. In the end, you know what? Like that's why, like, even hilariously, just now that I stand up taller in general, is that people have been like, oh, you're not 6'1", and I'm like, I don't know. It's very perplexing.
Well, you're probably like 6'2", no?
I think I'm 6'2.5", or like 6'1 3/4", but now I stand a lot, like my posture has gotten significantly better, and I'm also not weighed down by an extra 240 pounds, so it was a little different. But
I'm about 6'2.5" in bare feet.
Yeah. See, I never account for my shoes, but like they obviously have to do something.
For sure, right? That only makes sense. That's why, like, when I stood, when I was wearing my New Balance and stood next to Joey, we were within an inch. But you were wearing like flip flops or something. You weren't even wearing, like, you were wearing low. I
was wearing Chucks, and Dino had on these New Balances with a heel like that.
Right. Massive. Yeah. No, those are my normal. They're just comfortable shoes. So.
Yeah.
But yeah, no, that's fair. All right.
I used to wear New Balances until this girl at work, this is fucking 10, 11 years ago now. She said, your orthopedic New Balances are funny. And then after that, I got really self-conscious. I haven't worn New Balances ever since. I don't think I ever will again.
What a
Oh, that yeah, I can understand.
Don't let her win.
Don't let her win. Yeah, that's the more.
Well, I'll tell you this though. I'll tell you this. My life did improve significantly after I got rid of the New Balances.
See, that was the proof of the pudding there.
Joey, do you think my wife is getting me New Balances so women stay away from me?
No. She knows what she's doing. Yeah, she's buying you the shoes, so she keeps you. Yeah, you ain't going nowhere.
She's definitely she's you know what the funny thing is? The other day I went to a restaurant opening for a friend, and I wore like a 3-piece suit with a tie and fancy shoes. And a few times I got looked at, and my wife was like, boom, just arm in arm, just like immediately there. And I'm like, it's not. Just calm down.
Chicks love, that's a little known secret, dude. Chicks love footwear. Like, not over the top. I mean, they're not going to care if your Jordan pattern matches your hat, matches your coat, et cetera, et cetera. But like, if you got a nice pair of decent shoes on, chicks notice that shit.
Oh, yeah.
They really do. Manicures, not manicures, but like taking care of your nails and shit. Like general grooming and shoes is fucking half the battle. You know, I can tell how many guys like, these bitches ain't shit, and this fucking giant neck beard comes out the ear, and sweatpants, fucking fingernails look like talons and shit.
The neck beard is always the worst.
No, I've been trying to do better with that shit. So, you know, I gotta say it's paying off. So, like, I've been on a date. So, you know, like,
oh yeah. Kyle keeps on posting pictures of him in a sweater, and people are like, "You look gorgeous, Kyle." I'm like, "Oh yeah, he needs more of an ego." Thank you.
That's like one person. It's the same person every time.
Also fair. All right.
But yeah. No, yeah, whatever. But like, I wore the sweater on the date, so that's funny.
I mean, it works. All right, so we got Grogu. Hold on, let me do this.
Oh, it's Baby Yoda. I will not move on.
There we go. That's much better.
Like, I know it's not Yoda, but like,
no,
they're now Yodas.
The name is Grogu, or the child. I have Mandalorian, which has a gun, and then like a gun on his back as well. And then we have Obi-Wan Kenobi.
And Gina Carano.
The beard and all. And then, but Darth Vader looks the best. No question. So.
That's the least intimidating Darth Vader I've ever seen, but he's
really
cute.
You know what? In person, I'm pretty sure you crap your pants there, Joey.
Okay, that dude, that guy looks like what is it? Big helmet or like what?
Dark helmet, yeah, from Spaceballs.
It looks like the dark helmet.
Oh, I mean,
dark helmet Star Wars.
To a degree, it definitely does. Definitely does.
The part in Spaceballs that inspires the fuck out of me, and I do this all the time, is when they're in the movie and they're like, "Oh, we got the movie movie release," and they like put the tape in and fast forward it to the part where they're at, and they're on the screen at the same time. I always love live clipping somebody says and send it to them before the show's over. That's 100% inspired by Spaceballs from 1987.
That is one of the funniest things, though, as multiple times Joey has sent those kind of clips. Yeah, that's also, hold on. What is the most recent one that you sent to me, Joey, was
fuck you, buddy.
Which I'm like, that seems completely accurate, that's for sure. But
my favorite, no, it's funny. Like, that was my first ever Spaceballs reference, because I don't even really like the movie.
Hey, it's a horrible experience, but at the same time, you're kind of going, it's got some stuff.
I don't know. People like it. I don't judge them for liking it. I just don't like. I don't know. Like, I'm not a fan of Leslie Nielsen. It's funny. I'll sit there and I'll talk about how I don't like Naked Gun and all this stuff, and then people watch Shed Life and they're like, "You're just doing the same shit."
Well, I mean, Naked Gun's the same thing as Police Squad and stuff. But you got to go back and watch my favorite thing about Naked Gun and Police Squad, all those kind of movies, at least those ones back then. You got to look back at the scenes and the attention to detail they would put into this 1 45-second clip. Like, there was one with the monkey, and if you just look in the background, they had the monkey, and then this. It must have took them 8 hours to set up for this 30-second, 45-second clip. It's fucking fantastic, man. It's great. They don't do shit like that anymore.
Working in movies, there's probably 24 hours for that fucking shit. Like,
true.
Every the simple shit is 8 hours. Fuck.
Right, it takes 5 hours to film, or 5 months to film a 2-hour movie, dude. Think about that. That's crazy. Or to complete. I shouldn't say film, but
I was on set. Forget what day. Okay, it was a shorter day, so it was probably like 12 hours, and it was 90 seconds of film that aspired to, like, that was completed on that day because I saw the end product. Like it was my day at in the cafeteria there.
Yeah.
And I'm like, we were in that room for like 12 hours doing the Mayor of Kingstown thing.
Yeah.
And then that whole scene is like roughly 90 seconds or something like that. So
that's that was, I don't know, man. Like that's the idea where I'm like, I'm perplexed at the whole idea of film because you're like, you spend so much time on it and then you're like, we got 1 minute. And you're like, we've spent 8 hours to do 1 minute. Like, what are you talking about? Like,
well, you do the same thing multiple times, different angles, blah, blah, blah.
Mm-hmm. The different angle thing is something I didn't realize. They did that when they filmed, I think it was Fast 7 downtown Cleveland. They would do the same scene 3, 4, 5, 6 times, whatever, because they were doing the different angles.
Yeah, for sure. Like you don't always have like because if you have multiple cameras, the camera might catch the other camera, but what I'm shooting right now, they do have a bunch of they have multiple cameras at a time, and seems to be working well for them. But but we still do the same scene from different angles, and then like people are in different spots, so that like the background is full. Like they didn't have as many people on this as they originally projected, like considerably less. I guess it's budgetary constraints. I don't know.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm not privy to a lot of that stuff.
Well, that's why we were talking about that yesterday, Dino, but that's why a lot of comics, stand-up comics at least, don't translate well to movies just because there's just so much waiting and bullshit and memorizing and this and that. It's a stand-up comic, you just go there, talk, that's it. Yeah, it's very, very... You could be lazy and still be a stand-up comic. You could, you got a guy like Carlin, he could mail it in to give 70%, people are still going to laugh. They'll never notice,
But like, also too, like, people have paid for that day. You come, you do the show, done. That's it. That's boom. Like, even if you're doing a recording, you might have to throw in a couple redos or something. And then it's like, okay, you got to add like 10, 15 minutes, maybe a couple hours. Fine. And then there's editing at the end. But you're going, it's still a start, finish, like a play. I'm like, I get the idea, but then I'm like, memorize an entire play. Get the fuck out of here. I'm not doing that.
Like Eric Idle was talking about doing the Python movies, and he's like, people talking about retirement. He's like, going in a film, that's fucking retirement. He's like, you go to set for like 10 minutes, you're like doing some lines, and then it's like, we have to lighting and all that stuff, and then you're back in the trailer for another 5 hours. Like the other day, I didn't get to set for the first like 5-6 hours.
Wow.
And then but like I had like a week on a set, and one time we did stuff before lunch. It was every day, and one time we went to satellite holding, and then just to come back to regular holding to have lunch. Like nobody, and there was people that never left the original. Like like that. And then like we did stuff after, but like there are days, hell, I've been on set for an entire day and not been filmed.
Really?
Yeah. Like they hired me for a specific role, and then they were going to use me, and then like, oh yeah, you're that guy, so we can't use you for this because I had that specific thing. And then they never got to it. So I was like there eating, and then I found out they didn't hire enough unions, so I got union wages and I got travel and all that stuff. So my like $150 waste of day turned into like $450 of
nice. Sounds like Brutus Beefcake in the WCW.
Yeah, but that's the thing is I can appreciate that there are union rules. So it's like you have to like do things whether you like it or not. Like Kyle told me that story where he was like, oh yeah, they didn't have enough union people, and you have to have that because that's contractual. He's like, so Kyle's like, I'm making mad money. You're going,
I found out at the end of the day that like the whole day I was just like hanging around bored, talking to people, whatever. And it was crazy. I'm like, how is this show? I'm like, when is this show supposed to take place? Because it was like Canada weather in Hamilton. It was like, it was sunny. It was windy. It snowed. It rained. It hailed. Like everything happened and they were all filming the same fucking scene. I'm like, how are you going to explain that?
Yeah.
But I don't know. You just change lighting and like it all goes away with like editing filters and shit. So
that's the other thing. Like the amount of stuff that people do with sound and video quality, like picture quality, and you're going like they can do a lot of wild stuff. The one thing that I learned recently, which I think is really cool, was that apparently, like, you have to record no sound in a location, so you have no sound of that location, because if you just have zero sound, it doesn't sound right when you hear stuff. And I'm like, what kind of sorcery? And they're like, yeah, no, it's a thing, like, where like there's every place that has a non-sound sound that has to filter in. If it's not done properly, people kind of get irked at the whole situation. I'm like, that's wild, but also I need to learn more. I want to learn more about sound.
Like, we're also, so we're in like can't say a lot, but
no, I know.
So we're at a place where there's like a music thing is going on and stuff, but then there needs to be dialogue. So we're like dancing to music or whatever, but then it's not playing. Like, we've heard it, but it's not playing. And like the singers like doing the Britney Spears things, lip syncing to music that's not even there, because you have to do the dialogue. And then there's other times when it is like but you'll do it multiple times because sometimes it is playing.
Yeah.
And, or it will start just enough so you hear it. And then as soon as the cameras come on, it cuts. So everybody's still going, but it's weird. And then I'm like talking to somebody, but I'm not talking. And we don't actually have lines, but we do have to move our mouth and act. And you do like, so yeah, like I'm interacting with somebody, but it's all horse shit. It's like, and I'm not even allowed to talk like at all. So it's just like, we're just trying to like have like portray some sense of normality, but it's like weird.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually harder. Like, that's the hard stuff I find.
Yeah. Because, well, it's the same idea. Like, Kyle and I were talking about this the other day. I don't know if it was offline or not. It was like, if you give me a coffee cup, the normal thing is to drink. And then you brought up the thing about Meryl Streep, how it's like she walked by a reflective surface, so she messed with her hair, and you're going, that's a normal human thing to do, and you have to encapsulate that on film. You're like, you have to exaggerate being, I'm more normal, so you look normal.
No, because like I have a coffee cup, it's empty, but you don't know. So I'm walking around and I'm walking down the street, and I'm like, if I had a coffee and I was walking down the street, I wouldn't just be holding it, I would be drinking it. So I drink it. But you see all these people just walking around with their shit, nobody's drinking it, nobody's acting like that's not normal.
No.
So, but like that, like they're not gonna fire the idiots. But I'm just like, look better, like do better, like.
So my biggest aggravation is with like improv people pretending to drink, because they do this and they make this weird mouth position, and they're like, and you're like, who drinks like that? Can you not learn? Like, pretend there's a glass. You go, it's that simple. I'm like, what is that thing? It's very
my pet peeve on like film is like, you'll hear when they slam down the coffee cup and you hear how hollow it is. Like, like I'm like, do better, man. You know, like just put it down better.
You can. It's not even that, but you can have a weighted cup. Like, these are props. So have something that will mimic.
No, but like the only mimic is like, what do they do? Put water, like, because then when you start drinking, your actors have to fucking piss every 5 minutes. Like, it's like there's a thing, and then like you don't actually want to add weight. Like, most of the heavy shit is actually light, because you don't want to be like lifting stuff, even if it is just a coffee cup. Like, it's so,
or a fire hydrant, which we had that experience.
Yeah, that was funny. But like, no, like, it's insane just like how pampered sometimes you get. But like,
oh yeah, well, that's so Joey, Kyle and I were on working on Haunted Village, and one of the things, like, they called Kyle in to do promo stuff, and every once in a while, like, we need more people, and he's like, how about Dino? I'm like, yes. And he just kept on sliding me into these things. But hilariously, then they had, like, because it's a fake city, right? So or town, so they had like fire hydrants, and you're kind of going like, oh, I'll just lean on the cardboard fire hydrant. Don't lean on the cardboard fire hydrant. That is a bad thing to do.
I think I lifted it for the chick, the global chick, and then she was like impressed, and I'm just like, yeah, it's
it's so not. Yeah, you grab it, and she's like, "Oh my!" And you're like, "It's not." It doesn't weigh anything.
So I still have not, that exists, but I still have not seen it to this day. Or the Mary Berg thing, never saw.
Yeah, there's that thing too, which was funny. I broke a coffee carafe accidentally, and like it shattered, but it like shattered very localized, so it didn't like. Yeah, and I was just like, oh, that was a mistake, but nobody died.
You didn't stab the star.
Mm-hmm.
who's actually like has her own show and all this shit. We didn't even know going in.
No,
I didn't even know until later.
yeah. I think I follow her on Instagram, but
I do too because I wanted to see our shit and I never saw.
That's the only reason I followed. I'm like, I want to see this thing, but yeah, that's the same with the global thing. I'm like, yeah, I want to find that.
Well, it was like Global Durham, and then they never like, yeah, I don't know. Always like, I'll send it to you, and then I never saw it. But
yeah, that happens too.
But like, yeah, it's funny. Like, I don't even remember. Like, I remember that stuff, but it's like it didn't. It doesn't. Like, you bringing it up makes it like,
bro,
because it doesn't. There were so many crazy cool things that was like. Yeah. I forgot that one, and then I've had like other shit. And
oh yeah,
it's always a lot of good stuff that happens to me that's interesting.
Yeah. And then he calls me and rubs it in my face, and I'm like, awesome.
I gotta tell somebody.
Yeah, I have to. That's also true. That is fair. can bear the burden. It's fine.
It's not about you don't tell somebody that the secret just dies to time, bro. You gotta tell somebody. I mean,
I agree.
Exciting.
Can I? Yeah. You know what? The thing is too. Like, you can't do social media stuff about the stuff you're doing at that level either. It's not like. Do you remember watching? I think it was Kevin Hart and The Rock kept on doing like Instagrams where like they're in each other's background. They're like, hey, shut up, I'm doing something. And you're like, that's hilarious. But you're like, yeah, they're the star of the show. They can do whatever they want. It is not the same thing, right? So definitely one of those things. But yeah, no, it's always so much that you're just like, I think that's why I want to try and start doing that stuff. I gotta try and do some background stuff. See if I need somebody to hire a giant. And that's right here. Or Kyle. Kyle is also a giant you can hire.
Why don't we get like 2 or 3 other guys that are over 6'3", 6'4", and we'll do a Giants of Comedy show.
Bro, I already have the Life of Giants that we did. Kyle and I did a few times, which was entertaining as hell. But
it fell apart mostly due to me. So
he's busy doing cool stuff. Dan is live. Join us as Kyle. Cole's working for another hour. Well, that's fine.
Like I go through spurts. Like it's like tomorrow, but then it's gonna be sad. But I don't know.
Do more stuff.
Do you know what's funny? Is like, so what was it? Friday. Yeah, Friday. I got like a message. Remember the horse? Did I tell you about me playing a horse?
No.
Okay.
I don't think I do.
No, there was like somebody I've worked with was like, I need somebody to play a horse, not a joke. And I was just like, I can play a horse. And she's like, I actually had you in mind, but for like something else. And I'm just like, sweet, I'm down. And I'm like, I'm probably more qualified than to play just a horse. And she agreed. So it was nice. But then she messaged me. She's like, can you meet the director today? And I'm like, I'm on set until 4 a.m. She's like, wow, that's late. And I'm just like, she's like, when are you free? And I sent a message of like the weekend or after Tuesday.
Yeah.
And then, so I haven't heard back, but like, who knows? I could. And this will probably be like a legit acting role, but it'll be like really non-union small production thing. So no, I'm like pumped. I hope it happens.
At a theater near you someday, Kyle playing a horse, which
I won't.
I'd go watch it.
I got upgraded to not horse.
Not your.
I would gladly be the horse. Like
he's gonna be a non-horse character, so stay tuned for Kyle's
non-horse character. I mean,
non-speaking horse on film.
I was kind of excited to see you as a horse, but I mean that's fine. You're very
right, like the Wizard of Oz horse kind of costume looking thing. I'd fuck with that.
There's a no, it's like it's funny because there's like on camera non-speaking or something like, and that's like a specific thing, like a bigger. So it's like non-speaking horse, like principal actor. I don't know. It's like there's all these like little credit things, like specifics and shit.
It is hilarious because there's a lot of people who they build content wearing a horse mask. Like they'll play an instrument with a horse mask on, which I'm like, I don't understand what's happening, but hey, horse playing the drums, I like it. It's very entertaining.
That being said, I'm trying to like score myself the dragon puppet. So
100%, bro. Kyle was a dragon trainer in his last role.
of just existing.
Yeah.
And that was, he's like, oh yeah, I have a dragon on my arm, and you're like, oh, across his
like-
whole body.
My work's like, we need some actors. I'm like, you're asking me. I'm like, I am an actor. And then they're like, well, it's not that we didn't think of you. We just don't think you're necessarily right. And I'm like, all right, I accept that. You can't cast me as everything. And then I'm just on set. Like I was decorating the room as my job. And then I saw the puppet and I started manning the puppet and like fucking with my boss, having it talk to her. And then, 3 hours later, it's like, Kyle, can you be the dragon? I'm like, okay. And then they wanted me to do it like every time, but I'm just like, I was booked this week. So, and the thing's only like a 3-week event. So I'm like, that kind of cuts into a significant portion. So, but I would do it after or whatever. So I don't know if that's even happening. Jacob's there and the other guy. So,
We're done. Okay.
Like it's whatever. I'm doing okay. I'm pretty happy with and then my thing got moved, so like I work tomorrow now too, which is good because it would have been 4 days really long, and now it's 3 really long days, and now I get like one that could be. I hope it's 18 hours for fuck's sake. So I don't care.
That's ridiculous, but also hilarious.
Yeah, but you get like increasing overtimes and stuff.
Yeah, which is also a beneficial thing. Like, hey, can I ask you a question? How does craft services work? Like, it's just there, or like, do you have a specific time for lunch, or is it just like?
Oh, that's so funny. There's a specific time you're supposed to have lunch, and we have hit that 1 out of 6 times. So I get paid for the penalty of not feeding us on a certain time.
That's
Union
awesome.
is nuts. Like I make but for that hour I make like time and a half. I like get overtime for that. So yeah, but then it's funny. It's even such a class system. It's like crew eats somewhere else, but sometimes they eat with you, but they get first, and then union gets first. So if you're non-union, you're just like all these fuckers eating before me, watching them, and it's just so like, it's such a shit system. Like because it's just like, who the fuck are these guys? And then so there is like a time, and then you could be watching the food get cold while you're waiting for the people who are supposed to get it first.
That's hilarious.
You get craft services, and then you generally like people will start taking seconds after and take them home and shit. Like they pack up the food, like people will come with bags and shit, and so it's and then there is generally a table there all the time, but where you go is like so significantly better or worse. Like I've been to ones where it's like just crap. Like it's like they had like olive loaf bread with like peanut butter and jelly there, and I'm just like, who even wants this on that? And olive oil loaf or whatever. And I learned that it's not actually peanut butter. It's some like soy peanut. I'm like, how the fuck do you have that on there? You're gonna kill people. I'm like, why do we have like peanut butter just open and laying around?
Yeah. Also,
I thought grade school was like we weren't even allowed a peanut, and now you have that. But so and then there's coffee stuff, and generally there's water and stuff. But like sometimes that stuff's not always there, and so you're having an angry day. And union people can complain, but I'm not union. I just work union sometimes. So so I don't get a lot of complaint rights at that point. But
that is actually hilarious.
Yeah.
Joey, have you ever done anything on film like that or no?
No. I've never done any organized film. I've just done a couple open mics back in like 17, 18, 19, and then the YouTube thing, and the couple comedy shows I've organized, and other than that, that's it.
I don't know, and I'm intrigued by what Kyle, the crazy stories that Kyle tells me, and I'm like, maybe I should try this because I'm also humongous, but also I'm pleasant to be around now that I'm a lot thinner, right? Still not thin, still jovial fat guy, but
there's so much. I mean, regardless of the pay. I mean, I have an okay government job. Like, regardless of the pay, there's so much. This is what I've gathered, at least. It's kind of like the service. There's just a lot of hurry up and wait and just sitting around doing absolutely nothing. Those days of my life are kind of over, man. I can't do that anymore. I just can't. It's a waste of my time. I'd rather people may be thinking, all you do is YouTube panels all the time. Well, I'm having fun on here. I'm learning shit, talking with new people, etc.
Yeah.
You know, just sitting around fucking staring at my phone into the abyss. That's not what I want to do. Fucking
Yeah, but
all
it's
day.
like it is hurry up and wait. But like this week, it's sometimes some days suck, but this week I've like people will have their laptop and then you could do your work and then I
for real? Like nobody gives you shit about that. Like
okay, like if you're in holding, no. Because you're just there waiting. But like sometimes you're on set all day and then you're not doing it. But like and that is sitting around and waiting and it sucks because you can kind of not you'll get in trouble for talking kind of. But like no, when I'm like in holding, like we have a whole crew, we created a little circle, we're just sitting there chatting, learning fucking everything about everybody, talking about shit. And like I've spent like 30 odd hours with people I've just met. Like now we're like good friends. Last year I had a week on the set that we never worked before lunch, and I talked to a woman and met her and like learned all this shit about her, and we're good friends now. And it's cool going to set too because like your first one no, but now I'll run into like people and like that I've met along the way. When I worked on the one movie for a night, I went there and it was like everybody I've ever met. All of a sudden I reunion. Like so many people were at that set. It was just like a crazy cattle call of like 500 people. But it's like I knew so many of them. And then I had one dude like walk around. It's like, have you met Kyle? Like I'm like what the fuck? And I'm like this guy Adam, and all we do is like you know, bitch at each other the first time. Like it was one of those like relationships. It's just like I fucked with you, you fuck with me, and now he's like.
I mean, that's fair. That's a reasonable thing. See, I'm not good at introducing myself to people. Like I'm just loud and it happens. Like, you are loud. That's true.
And
you're way louder than I am. That's for sure.
I didn't know how. Like, I come to think about it, and this is like 5 days ago. I don't even know how I ended up talking to the people I ended up talking to. And it just happened. And they're fucking great. I've met other people, and they're all very fun. And like me and my buddy are working on this. Like I knew he was going in. He was on my call sheet.
Yeah.
So and he contacted me about like the job and stuff. Like because I had some Facebook posts that were a little vague.
Yeah.
But then he because he knew, he pieced two and two together and contacted me and stuff. And then, he's like, oh, I think I'm going to be on it, but I don't know. I'm in Cambodia right now. I'm just like, okay. And like, I couldn't do fitting. And then, but he did get on it. He just didn't get exactly what he wanted, but he got on it.
See, that's why I'm just kind of like, I feel like that's one of those things where I'm like, I'm so afraid of being the one new guy. But at the same time, I'm like, as soon as somebody starts talking with me, I just start making them laugh, and then people just start hanging out. And I'm like, but I'm like, I just stand there. I'm like, because apparently, Kyle, I'm not sure you know this, and you too, Joey, is I have a very unapproachable face. Who knew? So that's apparently.
But like you make up in punchability. No. But no, but like.
I mean, the balls on somebody if they're like, I'm gonna punch that guy in the face. I'm like, oh, you're gonna lose that arm. That's
no, but you meet people like. You're guaranteed, like you're gonna talk to ADs. You're gonna talk to like wardrobe, hair and makeup. You may or may not need like everybody. That's a thing. It's either sometime or not. Like women, like you usually come camera ready. Like if you're just extra stuff, it depends.
Yeah.
Sometimes they want like they'll check hair and makeup, but like I don't really get makeup if I'm just in like my bottom tier role. Like I get makeup now, but some other people get like my buddy Scott. He gets makeup on this. He also has a costume that he can't sit in, so he's walking all the time. It's like you get burned, and but it's not heavy. It's just you can't sit in it. So,
can you lean against that? You can't even lean against. I guess
you can, but it's like his job in the scene is walking around now, and. But like my costume is super heavy, so but like so I sit most of the time, but I'm also one of the few with the heavy that can move, so I've moved a bit, but
nice.
I'm generally just mine's a little ridiculous, but I can't really like say stuff about it, but like because to get fully dressed, it's like the first the first thing that needs to be going on is the thing I can't like hang out in. So it's like I'm pretty much like fully undressed on set, and then it's like right before we have to film, throw everything on.
So if you're interested in hanging out with
right?
Kyle in a loincloth, check him out. Just hang.
I'm not naked. I just have it under. It's funny. I'm like sitting there in like shorts and a shirt, and it's like, yeah.
You're like, I'm ready for action.
Yeah. So it's like it looks stupid. It's funny.
I just feel like Homer.
I have
is
to use the
like,
bathroom. I'll be right back.
I just need to put my shoes on. I'll be there. Yeah. Thanks, Zoe. No worries. It's all good.
How did that all come through after he muted? Like that went weird.
Like technology actually works for me. Come on. If anything,
yeah. But,
I'm more good with the like, you know, plastic blocks, things that can't be broken. That's my skill set, Kyle. I can't do anything else.
Yeah. No, like set is it's fun. It's so funny because like so many things that like even in high school or like I was just like, I'll never use this, or things like you know how I'm a masochist.
Yeah.
It's like I never liked fractions because who did? And then I went into cooking. You know, like fucking yeah.
Yeah. That's
And
that
then
seems accurate. Yeah.
I really get stressed out about like finding places and getting there on time. And like movie is just like the most absurd locations and then trying to get there at a time, which is also absurd. You also have to find random parking. So it's like all this stresses that I don't like. I like found the career that brings them out completely.
Yes.
Like one time, oh, I can talk about this. This is out. Like I was going to the Monk movie, like Monk, like Tony Shalhoub.
Yeah.
So that was filmed in Toronto, and I was on it. Like, but I'm like 99% sure I didn't get featured on film at all. Right. But like I found set. I'm like, that's good. Where's holding? And like I couldn't find it, and it's like 2 blocks away. Like it's a block away. Like it's on Front Street, and like so I had to like find parking, and then I lost my car. It's like, you know how you go underground in Toronto and you end up in 3 parking lots. Yeah, it took me an hour and a half to find my car. Cost me like more money because I had to pay for the parking. And then it took me forever. But like I also was like 3 inches from Tony Shalhoub, and we shared the same green room and stuff. And I was like, that's fucking. And Wild Bill was there, like the dude who played Wild Bill in Silence of the Lambs was on that show, so he was there. Yeah.
See, that is cool. So, but
fuck though.
If you're in, do they not provide like, oh, here's a parking voucher, or this is where they don't give you any of that? They're just like, just show up.
Not for riff raff.
No. That's a good point. Yeah.
Oh, like
yeah. You only get free stuff if you don't need it. If you're rich, you don't need that.
Yeah. If you're principal making a whole bunch of money that day, it's like you can send parking tickets and get like parking bills and stuff to your agency, which I forgot to do. But like that one time. But like and they like reimburse you and stuff like that. But
yeah, that's fair.
It depends because they want their commission, and it's like it's going to be more than your parking.
Yeah.
So they're like, there's a lot of perks, and depending on where you at, and but yeah,
that'd be fun.
It's cool. Like it's like, you're gonna be the new kid, and you'll, but I'm sure you'll meet people, and you talk to like. Yeah, there's crew. Like, hell, that's the thing. Other people just sit there, they go in their book or their headphones on, and they meet nobody. And, like, there's a lot of actors who are like, I won't do background work. I'm too good for it. I'm like, that's good. I made 1 million connections just by being on set. And, like, I talked to the crafts, like, I talked to the prop dude was just hanging out with the drinks all day, like, bored shit, because he had these fake, so it was just like, and so I talked to him, and then I ran into my cousin who's like actually in there, and they introduced me to somebody else, and like it's I ran into like there's a handful of people I already knew, and then you're talking to somebody about somebody, and then they know who that person is, and you'll have people that talk to you. It's like, oh, I remember working with you on this, and it's just like, and then you pretend to remember them too.
I am good at that. I am
because
good at
you didn't, and then but now they're like cool, and you're like friends again, and like so like my Facebook is made up of a bunch of people I met once or never, and or seen me. Like it's weird because obviously it's Kyle, and all these people will be like, know me, and then I don't know them. So I'm a dick, but everybody knows me because I'm a giant. And
That's absolutely accurate. Absolutely accurate.
Like I'm a loud giant, so people know. And then it's just like, but then it's like sounds like I'm all egotistical. Because
dude, I've been on Facebook for 20 years at this point. I got some of the most random people over the years. Like, well, especially because like sometimes when I get them on the show, I'll befriend them on Facebook. So like I got Jacques the Maori Jacques Rougeau is on my friends list. He'll like post randomly. The lady from Office Space, the corporate accounts payable, Nina speaking, just a moment. I'm friends with her on Facebook. So she'll heart my stuff sometimes. Just random ass fucking celebs and stuff like that. But man, you talk about that connections thing, dude. That's so true. Like, I mean, you see it on YouTube. Like if we're going live, we go live with people we're comfortable with and who have availability. That's it. That's how it is with Hollywood. It's how it is with these comedy shows. It's you know people, you're friendly with people, you get a reputation to be easy to work with. Sky's the fucking limit, man. It really is.
I feel like I'm like notoriously not fun to hang out with, I guess. I don't know. It's very weird because I'm like, I ask people, I'm like, hey, how come you don't want me on your show? They're like, I'd love to have you on your show. I'm like, why don't you ask? And they're like, I didn't think about it. And I'm like, fuck.
Okay, well, Dino's just like a princess waiting to be asked, and I ask other people to get on their show, and then I get on their show.
Yeah,
like,
I am very much like that. I'm like, if you don't want me, if you wanted me, you'd ask. If you don't want me, I'm not gonna.
There are so many people like that. Like all you gotta do is ask, and they love it.
But that's why I'm like, I don't like. If you ask me, bro, I will do whatever you want. Like, we went to a party, and Kyle still makes fun of me because I showed up early because he was like, hey, could you come early to help me set up? I'm like, yeah, absolutely, I'll bring some stuff. And I did, and I was there first, and it was just me and him for like an hour. And I'm like, I don't care, but I'm like, I'm happy to help and. Like I'm just happy to be included, but
because he was at the party before the dude, the party thrower.
Also, he was coming. You know what?
And then we showed up fashionably late for this other party, and so fashionably late that it was over.
Kind of, it was actually. Yeah, we got pizza. That was fun.
But it was well, looking by the party, it was pretty lame, anyways.
Oh yeah. And I think he bitched about
both of them really were kind of lame. It was only cool because but like I loved Cody's party, but it was literally me and you therapy session in the backyard. So yeah,
which was actually super fun. It was a good time, like because we just sat there, smoked a joint, and
talked about my failing life.
Well, no, and that's the worst part was that it was like we talked about everything, and you were like, and then you cracked a few wild jokes, which I completely forget, but they were funny as shit. And I think I might have wrote some of them down, but it was a fun, like I like an evening like that over more because it was actually, and Joey, you'd probably appreciate this, was like, so if you're like sitting in a garage, you have the garage door open and it's raining, but you're just sitting there, just chilling out, having a good conversation. You're like, that's a fun time for me. Like I always love the idea. And my dad, he actually did this to the house in Greece. Like there's a veranda every side of the house. It's like, you could just sit on the balcony. It's a 2-meter wide balcony. You just sit there, relax in whatever way you could have. We had our entire family on one balcony eating because everyone smoked. And my mom was like, you're not smoking inside this house. So we were outside, but it was like 3 generations of my family all sitting across this backyard. I'm like, if this falls, let's hope this house is built properly because if it falls, our entire family's gone. Right. Like, but it was so much fun. We were just shooting the shit and just hanging out. It was so like, that's a good night for me, but I'm old and I'm a loser.
I love that shit too. But the conversation doesn't, like that one night was on point, but the conversation doesn't always carry the way you want it to and stuff like that.
That is true.
But no, that was a great night and I loved it. And yeah, it was just like, if you can recreate it a million times, I would do it, but it doesn't always recreate. Like I said about the other thing, I forget what we were talking about. Oh, Hexwood anyways.
Yeah.
Because like I was talking with Tasha about like, doing it again, but then like doing it again doesn't always like create the same environment. Like that whole thing for me was such a crazy thing. Just walking into the room,
like viral a few times, right? So
but like just the room with all the actors and just like everybody like I had an air of respect about shit and
So well, you were able to say whatever you wanted, and then people were listening to you. And there was one person who was just a pain in the ass, where he's just like, whatever. Fine.
Yeah. So it was, but it's just like I don't know if I'll ever recreate the same energy and environment and all the stuff around it, and like the the celebrity, whatever bullshit. But like,
No, you just got to provide access to a good time and have fun with it. I mean, that's why people are always like, "Oh, we had such a good time at the party. Why didn't we record that?" Or "Oh, we had a good off air. People were laughing." That's like some of those moments in life are just spontaneous and they're there. Like everything in life can't be content. You got to have a life to live, to talk about, to make content. You know what I mean? You can't record everything. It just gets boring. Definitely. Most of our day is boring. Most of the washing hands, sleeping, shitting, eating, and nobody wants to see that. You know what I mean? So it's a
very specific audience that wants to see that. And nothing. The funny thing is that we did that last week. We did it. It was because I've been doing a Saturday hangout just at nighttime because it was like, we have nothing to do and the weather sucks outside, so we're just chilling out. And then I was like, all right, so we did it for like 2 hours, and I'm like, all right, we'll just go offline. And then we started talking for another 2.5 hours, and Kyle's like, why didn't we just go live again? I'm like, I don't know.
We should have just kept it live the whole time because it got like crazy. There were moose involved, everything.
It was. It was a great conversation.
I even talked about moose again with the prop dude. Like I forget what. I don't even know why it came up, but like we were talking about just crazy shit all the time. And but it's like even Mike, my cousin, was like, "Oh yeah, I saw your like." There was a TikTok shed life, and it was one of the dumbest one that I've ever done. And I'm just like, he's like, "No, just keep with that shit." And then he's talking about Trailer Park Boys and stuff like that. And it's just like you never know what this shit comes to, and people years later will come and up to you and talk about like the shit.
Yeah,
like even Robin Williams. Big movie star, all this shit, and then people lined up for blocks to see him. He's like, you know who all these people are here for? Mork.
Yeah,
you go into their house every week and you get a connection. Like that's where he's like all the fans from that. Even though he was like big time movie star, Aladdin, Poet Society, all that shit. You know,
still, but you're right, and that's it's one of those things where it's so hard to not betray your audience, right? Because they see you in one way. Like I remember Bob Saget, which you're like. Seeing him as like America's dad, so wholesome, and you're like, that man was a filthy pervert. Hilarious, but also you're going, that's not like how do you bridge that gap? Like that's definitely
we're Bob Saget, Bill Cosby, and somehow Al Bundy is our man of honor now.
Al Bundy is a king. Like he is historically a top tier spouse, husband, a person as a like you're going. Oh, okay. So none of that makes any fucking sense. Yeah. And he's also a black belt in jiu-jitsu, which you're like, he'd beat the shit out of. There's a picture of him, Jason Momoa, and Keanu Reeves, and you're like, he has the most experience fighting, and you're going, it's just perplexing.
Well, I've got to give Keanu at least a close second, if not.
Oh, yeah, he was definitely second. Momoa.
I don't think he knows actually how to fight, but Keanu is like pretty fucking trained now. He created a gun technique of reloading.
Yeah.
SWAT now used because it was so fast.
Yeah. And it was like, checking if you have so he flips it up and pulls back. And when you're going like that motion, like there's a very specific muscle that you use to be able to pull the slide back and push the handle forward so you can see and then grab it. Cause you're like, it's secure because you can easily just go, boom, and it just shoots out of your hand like 4 feet away. You're like, I did not mean. So you have to have this and this, but at the same time using your palm to secure it. Like that's a hard thing to do.
But it was considered like the best way to do it now. So like that's insane. Like an actor came up with like military technique because he was like, this guy looked cool and faster and whatever. And
I saw them use it in something recently. I don't remember what it was, but a guy did it, and I was like, "Oh, get the fuck out of here!" Because he was playing law enforcement, but it was like a like SWAT type law enforcement thing, or even like military. And he's just, and I was like, get the fuck out of here, bitch. But yeah, that's a real thing. So. Anyways, all right, guys, I got to get ready for. I'm going to go see Lord of the Rings, Fellowship of the Ring extended edition in a movie theater. So,
because he hasn't seen it.
I've seen it. I try and see it often. We just saw Return of the King, and now we're going to see this. I think it's going to be good.
Why are you seeing? Like, why are they not in order?
It was just what was out. So I don't know. But anyways, thanks for watching, everybody. Hope you like the Lego. I'll see you guys later.